Hey guys, it's Etta Rosa with Etta Rosa LLC. I'm here to talk about client expectations. I just recorded a video not too long ago about customer service and how to improve it, maintain it, enhance it. So client expectations is always a big one. I always like to start off with a welcome kit. Obviously you want to input your pens with your pretty logos, notepads, notebooks, but in essence, you want to make sure that the client is aware of what's going to happen, what to expect, what not to expect, who they can communicate with in your staff, how they can communicate best with that person, whether it's email, phone, text, whatever the technology that your firm offers. You want to make sure that your client walks out of that after signing the agreement, out of that meeting, knowing exactly what to expect out of your firm and how to expect it, and basically like a timeline. Obviously, everything in law is unpredictable, so we cannot predict the future, but we can definitely give them an outline and a roadmap to their client experience and to their case outcome. We always want to be honest and upfront. We never want to deprive them from information. We never want to we don't want to sugarcoat. If we give them the best scenario and we give them the worst scenario, because we never want to give them false expectations. So that will lead to really bad customer reviews, dissatisfaction, non-referrals, and it'll just lead you to a dark hole that obviously you never want your business to go, because we're all here for our business to grow and improve. And that's one of the ways. Clients definitely run our business as far as referrals, reviews, and satisfaction. So in these client kits, I always like to lay out the client expectation, what the client should expect from intake to settlement. I also always do financial requisites. If you're going to do like a retainer kind of thing, obviously your retainer agreement has the rundown as to how your retainer is to be received and paid and all that good stuff. But if you're going to do it on an hourly basis, if you do a paralegal fee, attorney fee, all that, you want to kind of give them a summary and a go-to packet to where they can find that information easily, rather than going through a retainer agreement and trying to figure out what the hell they signed. So you definitely want to keep that up front and center and have them reassured, positive, that they know exactly what they signed, so that later on they don't say, oh wow, that was really expensive, I wasn't expecting that, or oh, I didn't know that, that's how it worked. You never want those conversations with your clients after your staff and yourself have done the work and have the retainer has been paid and everything else, and then you have to deal with refunds. So we never want that in business at all. No refunds. So we also want to do communication policies. So communication policies is basically how they can communicate with your staff more efficiently. A lot of us are always on the phone or always on meetings, so email obviously is always the way to go. Some of us have internet phones where we can text our clients through that internet app, on a laptop. So texting, if that's an option, obviously let them know about texting, because that's always a time saver. And it's probably the best way to communicate with clients nowadays, just because we're all on the go. We all have a mission. We all have families and responsibilities. So sometimes a text is easier than being on the phone for 10, 15 minutes trying to figure out the situation or a better solution. So keep that in mind. Again, you always want to keep them with the expectations, what to expect, when to expect it, how to expect it. So if you are a civil litigator, you want to let them know your roadmap, which you can watch my video to see how the roadmap is created. It's basically an analysis of how a civil litigation file should go from intake to settlement. So you want to let them know what to expect from your firm, because obviously every firm is different, even though civil litigation is mostly litigated the same in all 50 states. So you always want to let them know what to expect, when to expect it. Okay, we filed your complaint. So after your complaint, this is what happens. After they respond, this is what happens. Okay, so now we're at trial. So, when we go to trial, we get an order, A, B, and C. You want to provide them with that roadmap so they know exactly what to expect, when to expect it. So their expectations are not too high, not too low. They're just right. Little Red Riding Hood. All right. So the next one is you want to produce Less problems, right? The whole point of the welcome kit is producing less problems, being more efficient, being ahead of the game, letting the client know what to do. That way you get those calls where like, well, what's the status? What am I waiting for? Blah, 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 blah. You always want to communicate with your client at least on a monthly basis. I even suggest on every 2 weeks at the least. Just so that the client kind of knows what's going on and knows what they're paying for if they are paying a retainer fee. Also, you want to give the branded gifts. You want to give them a referral gift card if they refer anybody, maybe a gift card, whatever the situation is. You want to let them know where they can put the reviews. You know, whether you like Google or your website reviews or whatever it is, or whether you do once a month videos for client testimonies, whatever your actual review process is. You want to let them know how that works, where they can go, provide them with the links. A lot of firms I know nowadays are recording YouTube videos, providing this welcome kit, so it doesn't always have to be in writing. You can always provide them with a link that they can always refer to, pause, listen, you know, whatever fits the lifestyle of your firm. Every firm, again, is different, especially in all 50 states. You also want to let them know about the intake information. So you always want to obviously provide them a copy of whatever they signed. Duh, that's a given. But you also want to let them know why you're asking for this information. Try to get as much information up front and center. You know that defense or plaintiff counsel is going to ask for a certain amount of things. So do like one of my clients does Head Start. So do one of those, you know, questionnaires where you know they're going to ask these questions through the interrogatory process, through the request for production process. Whatever it is, you know that there's going to be a basic information that defense or plaintiff always ask for. So why don't you just get that information up front? You know, it relieves a lot of the tension of trying to get with them afterwards and trying to get all that information after they've left your office. Especially if they're just not one of those that are continuous communicators that are just basically letting you handle the file and your staff. So you definitely want to get all that basic information, intake information, ABC information, right at intake, right at the meeting, right at the retainer, right at the agreement signing. So these are little tidbits that I've seen throughout the years, a little pattern here and there that I see that, you know, the welcome package is super important, especially for clients that don't know anything about law, that are in a whole different field and have no expectations because they don't know what to expect. So you definitely want to provide that to them so that you can keep that positivity. But if you have any questions, always go on my website at arosallc.com, subscribe so you can get updated videos. And if you need anything, I'm always here for you. And if you're having a good day, great. If not, change it.